You're watching coverage of the 30th Pan-Pacific Conference from the Sandton Convention Centre in Johannesburg, South Africa. My name is Dupree Strauss, and my next guest is Mohammed Kara from the Department of Business Management at the University of Johannesburg. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity, Dupree.
I have your paper in front of me that you gave a talk on earlier, and it's entitled The Impact of Outsourcing Project Management in the Banking Industry in South Africa.
Correct.
I'm going to ask you a couple of general questions about your paper, just to shed some light on the background and getting to your recommendations in the end. So
I think just one thing I must just clarify. I think the credit has to go to a lady by the name of Roselle de Vet. She's an honest student, and I assisted her in setting up the paper. But in any questions that I will be able to sort of answer, I'll do that for you.
That's good. No, I got it. That you won't take credit for the
No,
whole thing
I can't
yourself.
do that. It's wrong.
The paper starts with sketching a background of how customers' expectations have changed over the years because of the information age and because of the availability of information becoming more and more easy. How would you describe the change in customers' expectations when it comes to the banking industry?
Well, I think one term comes to mind, that the concept of customer centricity, and organizations today need to focus on customers if they want to retain them. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the fundamental mistakes that organizations tend to make is give customers what they think they want, not what customers actually want. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's those kind of aspects that are happening that are changing the face of how organizations need to deal with customers coming towards them, in terms of the kind of services, in terms of the kind of products that they give out to organizations. So there's a change from before just pushing things through onto customers. Now they have to basically listen to what customers require and what customers want, and being able to deliver that. I think that's becoming the focus area.
Okay. One of the problems that was mentioned in the paper was some of the challenges that were faced regarding the history of research on the topic of project management outsourcing.
I think the debate on outsourcing is an old one. It's nothing new. But I think it's certain components that have to be highlighted. One, most of the research that came out showed that most of outsourcing was taking place in an IT perspective, an IT area. And I think now we're asking the question is, when we outsource, what do we actually outsource? We can't outsource our core business functions, because then basically we lose control of our organization. So when we outsource, there's certain decisions need to be made in terms of what are we outsourcing? What are the benefits of that outsourcing? Is it going to be cost that we're going to basically reduce our costs in some way? Is it going to benefit our organization that it could bring us profits in the future? And again, I think it's just the main idea around what we outsource. That's the most important thing that's come out from this paper. And as you'll see, when Roselle did her interviews with people from an IQ or the IQ business, which is an outsourcing sort of provider to the banks, and with Standard Bank, there's certain advantages that come out, cost benefit, but also then how it is accepted by people working in the bank. Because the kind of questions asked is, why do we need to get people externally,
Of course,
and then using people in here, you know, in the banking industry itself? And I think that the whole aspect of skills and upskilling our people. So for me, I take a bit of a different stance in the sense that if we know there are shortages or limitations within our organizations, we need to clarify them, we need to address them as soon as possible. Yes, temporarily bringing people that have the skills are important, but at the same time we need to upskill our own people so that they can take over and they can do the things that need to be done. So, but generally it was just looking at why and how outsourcing can benefit our organizations into the future. And in terms of a project management perspective, we lack project managers in this country, with the result that we are forced to go and look for them. And the result is that we are now basically bringing people from outside with the skills that we need in our organizations.
Okay. Thank you very much for shedding light on this topic.
Not a problem.
That was Mohammed Kara from the Department of Business Management at the University of Johannesburg. Stay tuned for more coverage on the 30th Pan-Pacific Conference.